Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the latest model for the BMW M3 competition. This model here is finished off in an individual color. This is called Fiona Red, and the MSRP for the all-wheel drive competitions start just over $88,000. We have a lot of nice specs for this particular model, and we'll start off underneath the hood, where this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. This is paired to the 8-speed automatic. It pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. It weighs in just shy of 4,000 pounds, yet it can do 0 to 60 in right around 3 seconds with a top speed of 180 miles an hour. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, this model has the 360 camera system. So you'll notice a camera up front, all the parking sensors, a sensor for distance pacing, the large kidney grille with lots of cutouts along with the inlets on both sides of that. There's also gloss black accents, a dark housing for all of the LEDs, and then the hood lines are nicely integrated off of the top of that kidney grille. So it makes it blend in much nicer. Now this model is also equipped with the carbon ceramics. You'll notice because it has the gold brake calipers there and then a two-tone design for the wheels there. You'll notice more gloss black for the lower side skirt. It's on the M3 competition badge. It's also on the power folding side mirrors, which have a camera and a turn signal. There's more gloss black for the window trim. And then this has the carbon fiber roof with some nice fins on both sides. And then you'll notice some lines that flow down the side just to give it a luxury vibe. Now this also has a small trunk mounted spoiler finished off in gloss black. There's a dark housing for the LEDs, the backup camera, parking sensors, and then a quad tip dual exhaust. And this does have remote start, so you can just triple tap on the lock button. And that's how you can activate that. You can also shut it off as well. Now you can also use the key fob or the control underneath to gain access to your cargo space, where this has a power trunk. Now for a sedan, this has a good bit of space in back. There's no storage under the floor. You do have some storage bins on both sides, and you can also fold down the back seats too to get in that much more interior space. And then there's 2 controls up top, so you can close the trunk or you can lock the vehicle. Now you can also set up the key fob where you walk away, it will lock, and when you approach the vehicle, it will unlock. If you don't have that set up, this does have proximity door handles, so just grab any door handle, which is nice. Now this model is also paired with the Fiona Red interior, so red on red, it looks great in person. This has Harman Kardon. There's storage down below with interior lighting and the brushed accents, and then you'll notice the two-tone design for these seats. Now they do fold flat, where you have a good access point into your cargo space. And at 5'10", I have a good bit of legroom. With the carbon fiber bucket seats, you actually get additional space in back, so they're much thinner than the standard seats. There's vents in the middle, auxiliaries, also temperature adjustments, and at 5'10", I'm just barely touching the headliner. So I could ride around town. You can fit car seats in the back. You can use this as a practical sedan and transport people, which is very nice, especially for the performance. Now up front, there's memory seating adjustments, window controls, side mirror adjustments, trunk release, and storage. And then with the beautiful carbon fiber bucket seats, they have some great support to them. They're also automatic as well. And even with this thigh bolster here, once you get used to it, it's really not all that hard to enter and exit. Now this has the leather steering wheel with the flat bottom design. There's also carbon fiber accents, massive carbon fiber paddle shifters, M1 and M2, cruise control settings, and then on the right, volume tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. Now you can use this button in the middle and further go through the digital gauge cluster. So you'll notice for this setting, the left side and the right side is going to be fixed. So it can easily go through all of these vitals and stats, just depending on what you need to view. And then you can also get into the head-up display, where there's a few settings. Now to the left, you do have storage down below. There's also the headlight adjustments with a dimmer switch, 1 air vent, and then with the infotainment system, everything in the lower section is fixed. So that makes it easier to get into, but you also have controls down below. You can get into the drift analyzer, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your interior lighting, climate adjustments. You have quite a lot that you can adjust as needed. The home screen has all of these widgets, which you can cycle through and customize. And then you have climates, navigation, music, and then this has heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and temperature adjustments. There's carbon fiber underneath that with ambient lighting and air vents, volume tuning, hazards, and defrosters. There's also wireless charging, auxiliaries, and cup holders underneath the carbon fiber lid, and then the shortcuts down below for that screen. So again, you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. Now this is how you put it into reverse, where this has automatic parking and backup assistance and the 360 view. So you have no shortage of visibility around this entire vehicle. Now when you put it into drive, push on this shortcut on the left, and now you have the forward-facing camera in full screen. Park's located on the back, and you have different transmission selectors on the back side too. There's traction control, parking sensors, engine start stop, and then M mode allows you to change the gauge cluster and the head-up display. So now you have more of a sporty view, and you can also pull up information on that left side, so you can monitor some of that, and you have a large TAC for the head-up display. And then setup is how you can get into the M controls, where you can go from efficiency to Sport Plus with all of these settings and have these configurations ready to go. There's an exhaust note, auto hold, and the e-brake. You get an auxiliary with storage, a locking glove box, and then garage door buttons and dome lights. And then here's a look at visibility, where you have a lot of glass. For this style sedan, very easy to see all around. So we're in all the Sport Plus settings, second gear, here we go. And just a minor acceleration, this is a very, very performance-oriented vehicle, and one that if you want to see us do some performance driving with, take a look at the mountain trip, where the one that we had for a week, we took it to the mountains, we got to rip on it and really experience the performance of this sedan. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the M3. And even with the transmission shifts that I mentioned earlier, even with the vehicles in normal drive, the characteristics are much different as well. So we're in normal drive right now in the highest shifting, and it's already going to shift much quicker than if we put it in the slowest setting. So you can even adjust that for just normal day-to-day driving like this without using the paddle shifters. And again, it just adds to the character of this vehicle. But in terms of how this drives, it can be very fun, very comfortable and smooth. Compared to the 330 or even the M340, it's going to be, I don't want to say a little harsher, because in my opinion, I love sports cars, I love performance driving vehicles, so for me, I'll daily drive this. I'll go on a 6-hour road trip, it's not going to be an issue. But it is going to be a little bit stiffer if it's not something that you are used to. But people daily drive these, and it is something that can be comfortable to drive every single day. So it just depends on if you want that extra power and performance in a daily like this, you have the option to do that. And then you have a lot of space too for even your backseat passenger. So car seat will fit in the back. This is just a normal vehicle at the end of the day. You just have a lot of tech underneath and performance, which is nice. So with these carbon seats, 5'10", with the carbon roof, I have maybe about 3 inches or so of headroom, enough for me at my height to even put a helmet on and do some performance driving. So headspace is going to be good. Even if you're a little taller than me, you can fit comfortably. And of course, you can go with the standard seats too, which surprisingly hinder your back seat legroom. So it's a toss-up between climbing in and out of the seats or having more leg space for your back passengers. I would totally go this route. You have this divider in the middle, so maybe if you like to move your legs or something, you're kind of split, but I think it's very comfortable and doable if you want a seat like this. But that is going to wrap it up for the BMW M3 competition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.